Hello, welcome. Wonderful, Jack is here. Always good to see. Hope everyone's doing well. Joe is here as well. Wonderful. Hope everyone's looking after themselves with everything that's going on. I actually had a COVID test earlier on today. That was fun and exciting. Really wasn't. My nose still hurts. Okay. Any questions from Jack, then stick them in the chat because he's the only student in at the moment. If not, then I'm just going to go through the lesson plans for each of the groups. I think that's the best way to be. Okay, so first thing, make sure we're all in tune. That's always good. If you've got ukulele with you, fantastic. Make sure you've got the book as well. And we'll start with Johnny Ukulele Level 2. Okay, so not all the groups would have done this, but we're going to get there. Okay, so this is on page 8, right at the bottom. And the one group that had this, we were doing bars 1 to 4, so let's go through it quickly. Give you a moment. Much needed coffee. Oh, it's good. Okay, so Johnny Ukulele. This is the level 2 version of the folk song. Okay, it's a fairly nice song to do. Can I repeat? Repeat? Or what do you mean? I can repeat, but which part? Because I don't have a script. So okay, so yeah, Johnny Ukulele, level 2 of what's level 2 version. Okay, there's a little bit more that's going on. That's a few different rhythmic things, and we're changing strings, things like that. Okay, so I will run through that just one moment. So we're looking at the Music Works ukulele book, this one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna look through the um, the lesson plans unless I get any specific questions, and then we'll go through it. I don't believe uh, no, it wasn't that Jack's group weren't doing this song, but we will after I've done the first 4 bars of this, we'll go into what Jack's group were doing because he's here. Okay. Right, let's do it quickly. So the first we're playing only on A string and the E string. Okay, and the first bar of Johnny Ukulele Level 2, bottom of page 8, we've got an A3, sounds like this, and A2. We play that in half notes of green T. So green T, green T. Okay, so like this. A3, A2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then bar number 2, it's really easy. It's just open A or a peppermint T, so the whole bar. Okay, now the next bar, we've got an E3, E1, E3 and E1. So make sure we use our ring finger and that index finger. Yes, alternate picking would work on this song. Okay, now you don't have to worry about doing alternate picking really quickly, but try and get each one down. So down, then up, down, and up. So just quickly, the last bar of this that we're doing today, bar 4, is an open E as a whole note. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we can alternate pick it. So if we go through first 4 bars, we've got down, up, down, up, down, up, and that's just solid alternate picking. Okay, that's a nice quick run through that. So yes, alternate picking would work with this song. So let's have a look at what Jack was doing this week. Okay, so this week, Jack's group, we were looking at rests, string skipping, and we started the song Hot Sauce. Okay. So first, let's look at string skipping. if there's a specific part about this lesson, Jack doesn't understand what you mean about notes. Okay, so I can come close to the camera, but that song we just did wasn't in Jack's plan this week, so I'll do that for the next song. So for hot sauce, which string skipping and hot sauce we're going to do now. So I'll move the ukulele closer, but so you can actually hear it, I have to do it into the microphone because this is all I've got to pick up any sound. Okay, so for my voice and the ukulele. So string skipping. So as I said in the video and in the work that was sent out, string skipping is the act of playing one string. So for example, an A, and then playing another string, for example, a C, and we're skipping over the E string in the middle there. So we're going A, C. And it's as simple as that. We're literally just skipping over. Okay, so we can do that to help play our arpeggios, which we've looked at before. So for example, if I play F chord like this, the F chord is like the A minor, but with one extra finger on there. Okay, like that as well. Hope you see. Okay, so if I'm going to play the F chord, I can string skip between the A string and the G string. There's not much point doing that though, because it's the same note. So instead, I might think about string skipping between the A and the E. So we've got this kind of sound. Do a bit closer to the camera, like you asked. So it's literally just playing a chord or a melody or something, but skipping over a string in the middle. Okay, it allows us to play wider intervals and just have more space in our music. Now, hot sauce, page 16. Hey, if you don't have the book, then I did put the Sound Slice link in there as well, so you can always open it in your browser. Okay, so we'll cover the first 2 bars of hot sauce just so you've got it. So this is using string skipping, and we can implement our alternate picking as well. So we'll do the first 2 bars. So this is on page 16, okay? Right in the middle, level 1, hot sauce, underneath alternate picking. So we've got an A2. Sounds like this. A2 is there, okay? Second fret, first string, A2. And we're then skipping over all the other strings and playing an open G. Sounds like this. Okay, so what we have to do is we're doing quarter notes or T, or we could use the name Jack because it's got one syllable. So we could, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we can go Jack, 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 or Joe, 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 or Steve, 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 whatever, as long as it's got one syllable. So we can go like this. So we've got A2 and we've got G. So this is the rhythm. I'll play it for you, and then I'll play it closer to the camera, and then we will break it down. Okay. So that's T, 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 T. Okay, Joe, I don't quite understand your question. What do you mean, does that work with green tea? What bit specifically? And we'll have a look at it. Okay. Now, that's the first bar that we would have learnt. So as long as you can keep your index finger on A2, all you need to do, you need to make sure that you leave lots of space and you don't accidentally play these two here. You don't want to play those two, you want to play this one and this one, okay? Now, the next bar, bar 2, is exactly the same thing, but you're moving this finger all the way up to here. I know, difficult. Okay, green tea is not the same as tea, so what we've looked at before, good question, Joe, is that green tea is a half note, okay? We have 2 green teas in one bar, and we've got 4 teas in the bar, so it's half. Let me show you. So this is, obviously my book has fallen apart as a result of last week. This is tea, so tea, 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 okay? There's no green tea there. Now green tea will be here somewhere in this bar. Okay, so we've got green tea, but that's one note. and then another note. There isn't 4. Okay, so hopefully that clears it up a little bit. So let's carry on with hot sauce. So as I said, bar number 2, second bar. So we only had a 2-bar target this week. Was to move that finger up to there. If you want, you could use your middle finger. But if you feel more comfortable, you could move that finger to that finger there. You're welcome, Joe. Okay, so that's literally it. And we're doing the same string skipping pattern. We're going a 3 this time. Sounds like this. Down to G, like this. Okay, do it a bit closer. Oops. Don't worry if you make a mistake like I did, okay? It happens. Not a problem at all. So remember the most important thing here, because it's not difficult to do the string skipping and to hold the fret down. That's not the hard bit. The hard bit is getting the rhythm right. So it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not playing any faster than that or any slower. Or say T out loud if you need to, or in your head, or tap your foot, flap your arms like a chicken. It doesn't matter, as long as you try your best to keep in time. Now with sound slice, you can slow down the thing as well. Or if you want a challenge, you can speed it up. Not a problem. Okay, and the other thing that most of the groups were doing this week was rhythmic note values, but for rests. Okay. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been learning about whole notes or peppermint tea. We've been doing half notes or green tea, quarter notes or just tea, and that's all fantastic. We know that the whole note is worth 4 beats, half note is worth 2 beats, quarter note is worth 1 beat. Okay, and we've got 4 beats in the bar, so 4 quarter notes, 2 half notes, and 1 whole note. We know that. But what if we only want to play 3 notes in the bar, and we've got some space? We can't just have air or blank space. We can't have that. So we have to have something there to fill it in, and to tell the person who's reading the music that there is meant to be space there. Okay, otherwise they'll be confused. So if you have a look, this is in the song "What's a Ukulele, Kenneth?" Okay, bottom of page 18. Now this is a good example. I'll show you. This is on bar number 8. This one here. We notice there's 3 quarter notes, but we're in the 4/4. We're in common time, so we need 4 beats. But that only adds up to 3. 1, 2, 3. So we've got a quarter note rest right at the start. Looks like a weird squiggly seahorse or something. Okay, that is the same as that, but it just means that we have an empty space that's equal to that in length. Okay, now let me see if I can find another rest. There's another one. There's an 8th note rest. I don't think we did this. Here isn't. Oh, here's not one I made earlier. I'll just one here a bit easier. That weird 7 looking thing, that's an 8th note rest. So that is equal to a 8th note or coffee. Okay, or just one coffee or a cough, if you will. And we've got several different. We've got a rest for each rhythmic note value that we've looked at already. So we've got a whole note rest, half note rest, quarter note rest, 8th note rest. And you can get more, but we won't really see that in the book. Okay, now let's quickly look at all the different rest symbols. So the top one, which is a colored in rectangle that hangs down from a bar. Notice how the line, which we see on our stave, like on here, is above it. It hangs down from that part. But then the half note rest, or the green tea rest, looks like a little hat. Yeah? Little coloured in rectangle above the line. Now, this is that weird seahorse squiggly line looking character. I don't know why they came up with that, whoever did, but that's what it is. And we all recognize that as the T or quarter note rest worth 1 beat. So that's 1 beat worth of space. Then we've got the the half a beat, 8th note rest, or 1 coffee or a cough. Okay. Well, they're really important. You can't just get away with, oh, you have to write a song and put in just loads of whole note rest. That doesn't count. But it is useful. Okay. Sometimes you want a note to last a specific length of time. So you can't just fill it up with loads of random notes to fill in the space. Okay. Luckily, if you're using a program on your computer to write down the sheet music, it puts in the rest for you, which is good because I'd always forget myself. Now, if there's any questions about any of that, then give me a shout. It's not a problem at all. One of the groups we were looking at the D major chord. Now, this is quite a difficult chord. Okay, it's not the easiest chord to play, but we will have a look at it quickly. We've got 5 more minutes, so get your questions in now while you can. So the D chord is nice and easy. Okay, I'll show you now. So what we have to do is scrunch all of our fingers up together. This is difficult for me to play. I've got quite big hands, okay? But should be fairly easy for everyone. If I can do it with my big hands, then you can do it easily. Okay, so we need to put our index finger, G string, string number 4, fret number 1. Sounds like this. Looks like this, okay? Now the next one, middle finger goes on C string, fret number 2, so C2, third string, okay? Sounds like this. Together they sound like this. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Your ring finger goes underneath that. So we've got E2 or second fret, second string. That's what it sounds like. And the last one is an open A string. Okay? Sounds like this. But this is what the chord sounds like in its entirety, okay? Now it's important that we recognize the shape of it. So that is the shape there. Okay, it's a bit difficult to see because all my fingers are kind of jammed into one place, but you can see at this angle, I'm not touching this string here. Okay, so we can hear it nice and clearly. Now, I always get someone to, I still do it myself. Okay, all the guitar tutors do it, and everyone does. That we go through, if we're learning a new chord, we go through each string individually. And if you hear a sound that's like this, this is where playing the strings individually comes into its own, because you can hear that this string is a bit muted. This one isn't. This one isn't. This one's fine. So my third finger for the D chord. So this is quite a difficult chord. So try your best for this, Jack, but don't worry too much. My third finger, so my ring finger, is on the second fret of the E string. And you forgot what it was then. There's the E string, okay? So we're on up my finger. If I do it this way, my index finger, my middle finger, and my ring finger, all on the same fret, but on different strings, obviously. So one there, and one there. This string is open, okay? In fact, you might be able to play this chord easier than I can. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Lots of different angles. I could do with a camera team here to help me out. Wonderful. No, not a problem at all. So, again, it sounds like this. Which is it's quite a nice chord, very popular. It's a little bit more difficult to play that than it is to play the guitar version of the D chord, in my opinion, anyway. Now, something I was doing with another student this week, a one-to-one ukulele student, is we were looking at playing a different song. It's not in the book, and had a little bit of melody playing as well as a bit of harmony or chord playing. Okay, now it's really important that we do some independent learning as well, because you're not going to be able to have lessons forever and ever, which is a shame, obviously. But quite often I'll hear a song or I hear a chord or a technique or a player, and I'll think, okay, that sounds really cool. I want to learn how to do that. Or if you hear a TV program and you want to learn how to do the theme song or something, then try and learn it. And even if you can't get it or you don't understand it, you're making progress somewhere. Okay, so I started learning the song "Losing My Religion" by REM, and I was playing it, even though the original's on mandolin, I was playing on ukulele like this. Thank you, Catherine. It is a great song. I actually picked it especially for you. Okay. If there's any questions, then drop me a lot, or drop the Music Works an email and I'll get back to you, or drop them now quickly and I can answer them because I do have another session to do in a moment. But thanks for the people that asked questions, Joe and Jack and his dad. Okay, that's really good. Work through. I've got some good, cool stuff for you for this next week. So hopefully you do really well. I'll see you all later on, and look after yourself. Have fun.